What's going on, stackers? So in this video I'm going to share with you how you can create your first colouring book and with no experience. So welcome back to StackinProfit. My name's Paddy, and over here we give you the tools and resources to learn, grow and master passive income streams so that you can live a life of freedom. Now, like I said, this video is going to be all about creating your first colouring book and with no experience. But you are going to need a few different tools. Now, this isn't the best way to create colouring books. This is just the way that I make them, so I'm sharing with you how I do them myself. Now, the tools that you are going to need is CANVA, tangent templates, and then Creative Fabrica. That's all we need to start creating these books. So if you have these tools, then you should be able to follow along. If you don't, then check out the link in the description, because there will be some links down there for you so you can go and check them out. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is do your research, so you know what type of Christmas book, what type of colouring book that you're going to create. So it's very important that you go and do that first before start creating any type of colouring book, because we need to see if there's demand for that book before we start creating it. Now, I've just pulled this up as an example so I can get the right dimensions. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you're doing your research, you're going to come across what type of book you're going to create and what size and how many pages. Now, if you find a book over here on Amazon and you like the size of that and you want to do a similar type of book, once you're on that book, then all you have to do is scroll down right to here and it's going to tell you the dimensions, 8.5 times 8.5. So that's the dimensions of the book that we're going to create. So that's where tangent templates comes into play. Now, this is one of my favorite tools ever because they have so many tools just within this one tool. But for this example, we're going to use the listing helper. No, that is wrong. We're going to use the Kdp Helper. Now, I use this because it makes things so much easier. So what we're going to do, we're just going to plug in the dimensions of the book. So we're going to do an 8.5. You might not do an 8.5, you might do something else. It all comes down to the research that you've done and the type of book that you want to create. So we got 8.5 there. Then I'm going to change this just to 50 pages. And let's do bleed as well, just in case I want the images going right to the edge of the page. So that's the only reason that you would tick bleed, if your images and or lines go right to the edge of the page. So we've got all the right dimensions just here. We're now going to click continue. And now once we've clicked that, it's going to give us all the dimensions that we need and for all different types of softwares. So if you don't use CANVA, you can use any other type as well. So we're going to go onto the interior and we're going to scroll down to the CANVA part, which is just here. So we're going to need 8.625. So let's take that. Now we're going to go over to CANVA and click on custom dimensions. We're going to click inches. We're going to click paste. And then we need that 8.75 as well. So 8.75. 8.75. And then we're just going to click create design. So this is going to pull up all the right dimensions that we need to start creating the interior for this type of colouring book. So there we go. That's what we need. But I've already gone through and done this and started creating the colouring book, which you're going to see in a second. And I've gone through and done that just to make this video a little bit shorter. So let's pull that up. So what I've started putting the front page. So this is just an example. I haven't done any research to see if this would be a great title or a great book. I've just put this in here for this example. So colouring books for kids ages 6 to 8. And then down here we have the copyright. So right here, copyright, all rights reserved. Your pen name would go just here. So whether it's something like Simple Colouring Creations or something like that, that would go here. Now what I've started doing as well is leaving that page blank. So because this is the first page, so this page is going to be the back of this page. So I just like to keep that blank. And then if we go to here, we can see how I've started creating the colouring book. Now where do we get all these types of graphics from? Well, really simply put, it's from Creative Fabrica. Now with Creative Fabrica, I love this tool. I pay for a subscription. It's where I get all my fonts, all my graphics and everything for my book, and they even have interiors. Now if you want to see a video all about Creative Fabrica KDP interiors, then I will link it right there right now so you can go through and check it out. Anyway, Creative Fabrica, I absolutely love this. Depending on the type of colouring pages that you're going to create will depend on the search term that you put into the search bar. So for this instance, Christmas is just round the corner, so I'm going to carry on the Christmas theme. So let's just put Christmas colouring pages and then click enter. So this is going to be the boring part. See, what you want to do now is just go through all of these, downloading them and then uploading them to Canva if you have a pro account. You can still do it in a free account, but you're just limited to how many you can upload and how many folders you can have. Now, what do I mean by folders? Well, you'll see in a minute, because that's how I organise everything over on Canva. But if we have a look through here, we can see lots of different colouring pages. Now, what I don't recommend, or what I recommend that you don't do, is just taking one of these, whacking it on a page and leaving it like that. You want to create some unique designs within your colouring book, and you need that by getting all individual pieces just like this. Now if we go back up to the top, let's go to here. As you can see, I have a lot of different Christmas colouring elements, and you can see them all here, and they're all just from Creative Fabrica. So if we were to download one of these, let's find one that we want to download. So that's all colouring pages. Let's try and find some individual ones. So let's do that. I know they're around here somewhere. This is the laborious part. This is the part that takes ages, finding lots of different bits or vectors for your colouring books. But then once you've found them, you can actually create your colouring books pretty easy. So it's taking a while to find some. All of these would be good. You could download these individually as well. That would be another one. So let's do Christmas colouring book pages bundle. So just give that a second to load up. So it's taken forever just to find the images that I want. So in fact, let's go back. Give that a second. But any of these would be good. So this would be good. We could download that. Download any of these as well. These would be good. So we could download them. To download them, it's really simple. You would just open the tab in a new tab, or open the page in a new tab. Click download, and then once they've downloaded, you can come over to Canva and start uploading them here. Now what I like to do, so if we go to, let's go to folders, type in Christmas, like that, we can see all of these different folders that I now have. If I click on this one, I have lots of folders, as subfolders within this folder, if that makes sense. So if we go on here, click on folders, these are all the Christmas elements or colouring pages that I have just for Christmas. So that's how I like to keep it all structured and all nicely put. So I have all these different folders just here. Anytime I download something, I'll put them into a new folder. We can check out ones like this. Now I've got all these, but I probably wouldn't use them because you can't really add much to this. In fact, you could use, let's go to here, you could use these and then put holiday quotes over the top. So you could have something like Merry Christmas over the top of this to where they can colour that in. Just remember, try and not use the graphics from Creative Fabrica as is. You want to use them to create other designs. So again, I probably wouldn't use this one, so let's go back. But I have all these Christmas elements just here. Now let's get rid of that and let's scroll up. So we got that first page, and then we're leaving that one blank. Then we got the second page, or the third, and then I'd leave the back of this blank as well. But here is where I'd just start adding more colouring stuff. So we could add a tree. So if we move that down to here, like that, keeping it very, very simple because this one would be for kids, but we could have that there. We could have some really nice bits like this. So let's just do, no, not that because the line's too thick. But let's go down to something like the ribbon. Make that smaller. And I would just keep going through, adding stuff onto this colouring pages so it doesn't have just one element. Try and stay away from that and try and create better designs with all the elements that you get. So I would do that on that page. I would leave the I would leave the back of this blank as well. Main reason being, if people are colouring in this or if kids are colouring in this, you don't want the pens to bleed through and go onto a back image. So that's why I like to keep this completely blank. Then I'd go on to the second one and start doing this. Just start adding more elements on the page. And this is just a real simple and easy way for you to start creating colouring book interiors, because there's loads of cool stuff over here on Creative Fabrica which we're allowed to use, and you can use them to create your first colouring book with no experience. Now, if you want to check out Creative Fabrica, there is going to be a link down below. There's also a link for here, CANVA Pro, for a 30-day free trial as well, if you want to check that out, because I just want to talk a little bit more about folders. You can only add all of these folders if you have the CANVA Pro, but it makes things so much easier, because if I were to download this, I could keep it all organised in its own folder over on CANVA just by going here, creating a new folder, typing in the name for the graphics just here, and then click create folder, and then I can add all those graphics into that folder, keeping it nicely organized and a lot more easier when I next go to create more of those types of books. So that's why I do love CANVA Pro, because you do get so many features. And again, if you want to check that out, there will be a link down in the description below for a 30-day free trial. But that's it. That's how you can create a colouring book really, really easy and with no experience, just by using CANVA and Tangent templates and also Creative Fabrica. So now what I would do, I'd have that front page done. I'd have that page done. I'd probably add some more graphics. There's not as much white space. And then I would just keep going through until I have all the pages that I want. Then I would just download right here. I'd go to download, download as PDF print, and then I would click all pages. So on here, all pages, I'd click done, download, and then I would have my interior. So this is one of the most easiest ways for you to get started creating colouring books. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, go hit subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you can be notified for any further videos. That being said, I've been Paddy, this has been Stacking Profit, and I'll see you again soon.